Alrighty, hello and welcome back to us. And we are cooking today. It's a cooking video.
Yay.
So what are we cooking today?
Lasagna.
Because Korea. Actually, I just wanted lasagna, so.
Well, also just because we make really good lasagna. So we're actually going to show you our easy lasagna recipe, which is where you get a couple things from the store, but the rest of it is a little more complex. But the sauce today will be from the store just because we didn't have time to pre-make sauce or take you on the adventure of making sauce. Maybe that's another video.
But we are going to grind our own meat. So.
And we're going to shred our own cheese.
Yes, there we go.
Yes.
Alright, so let's get into that.
Woohoo! So, obviously the KitchenAid is my baby, because I'm the baker. But Chuck, at some point, decided that he really wanted to grind his own meat, because sometimes the meat that we get that's already ground, not grinded, isn't as fresh. So we felt like maybe grinding our own meat would be a better plan. So, thus we got the metal food grinder for the KitchenAid. And now we will grind.
So first off, you cube up some meat, and then you throw it in the little chute there and pack it down. And if everything works correctly, you get ground meat popping out of the other end. So,
Like extra butcher.
yay! So we're gonna ground up, oh, I don't know, what, about a pound and a half, something like that?
Yeah, and then we've got some already ground Italian sausage to go with it.
So we got a relatively lean beef because we're gonna mix it with Italian sausage. So we're going to cut to a little bit of time lapse, and we'll be back. Alright, so as you can tell, we have ground our regular Korean beef that we bought at the Korean store. And then we got our Italian sausage that we ran through there as well, just to push some of the beef through and mix it together some. So now we are
Olive oil in the bottom.
olive oiling up the pan.
And I like to put fennel seed in here with the olive oil because sausage, or at least Italian sausage, gets a much better flavor with the fennel seed. And as you can tell, I like fennel seed.
Yeah, fennel and rosemary are both good on pork, so.
And while I've got this cooking, I'm going to probably add a little bit of garlic with it. We like garlic in this family, so garlic to your own taste buds.
So you watch the heat there so the garlic doesn't burn. So we're going to brown this up, which I'm sure everybody knows how to brown meat. And I am going to get over here and chop some veggies that go in it. So back to ye old time lapse. Alright, so we got veggies cut and stuff is browned up, and we're going to start our basic mix. Remember, this is a relatively easy recipe, so pretty much everything is store-bought and adjusted.
So in here, of course, we've got the ground beef that we ground. We've got the ground sausage, Italian sausage. There's mushrooms, there's yellow bell peppers, and there's onions.
And we did drain out some of the grease because the Italian sausage does make a little bit more grease than your average hamburger does.
Nobody really needed to see the drain portion, so we just...
Yeah, you should know how to do that already.
So the other thing I've added already, obviously, was the fennel seed and the garlic. I added a little bit of black pepper. We've got a little bit of oregano in here, a little bit of basil, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt, obviously. A little bit of pizza seasoning. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding some of the sauce. I'm a huge fan of Prego, and I love mushrooms, so there's Prego fresh mushroom.
We kind of split it off So we'll do one with like the fresh mushroom or like the garden variety or whatever, and then one with a meat sauce.
Sausage.
Because meat sauce.
Now this one is Newman's Own Saccaroni with pepper, spices, and the whole shebang. This is not a product placement. I'm not being paid by them. But I do like them. Gives another added level of veggies and stuff.
It's what we were able to get, and it actually works fairly well together.
It does. And then just because we like a little extra sauce to it, we add the contadina sauce. And now I'm going to begin the mix.
Yeah, we are using a cast iron pot, Dutch oven, whatever you call it.
Enameled Dutch oven.
Enameled Dutch oven. So if you're going to get cast iron, get the one with the porcelain coating on the inside. It is a whole lot easier to clean.
And honestly, I just really love it. This one is my Food Network one. I think I have a Pioneer Woman one. We have an off-brand one. I just love them. All right, so as you can see at this point, we've got a good level of sauciness. Now this sauce also doubles as spaghetti sauce. So if you don't want to make a crap ton of lasagna.
Or stuffing for jumbo shells or...
Yeah, pretty much anything.
It's a good generic Italian
It
sauce.
is. It's perfect.
Honestly, you could put it on pizza if you wanted hamburger pizza.
You could. I'm going to trade with Chuck now so he can do the wine thing and begin the taste test and seasoning.
All right, so we are going to get our lids off of these, and you can use whatever generic red wine that's on sale. That's pretty much what I do. This one, Apothic, seems to work pretty well.
It's what we can get. One of the ones we can get here, and we like it.
Yeah, the flavor's not too bad. I could drink it if I was hard up for something because I don't really like wine that much. But so pour in about half a cup to 3/4.
Uh-oh. Look at the wine bottle. Oh no, you might as well finish that
I
off.
might as well finish that off now. So, some people find this funny for some ridiculous reason. They use that to clean the tomato sauce out of one jar.
Pour into the next.
Just snowball it into the next one.
Okay, so we grew up kind of country and a little bit poor, so we didn't have no wine. Because I'm a little redneck, we didn't have no wine. So if you don't have wine, you can use a little bit of water.
Yes.
Main thing is just getting the extra sauce off the side, but don't put too much in, because then you'll just weaken your sauce, and then you'll have to get a can of tomatoes and crushed tomatoes and drain the juice out to add.
Yeah, if you add too much red wine to it, it'll dilute the taste of the tomato, and then it gets a kind of a...
Winey.
Not really acidic, but a winey undertaste to it, and that's not actually what you want.
Nobody likes a whiny taste.
So, yeah, the wine thing is one of them Food Network things I learned in college.
Hey, it's a good thing we're cooking in the Food Network cast iron. All right, so we have added in the wine. And then Chuck will mix that. Now, important to note here at this point, we will probably not be eating this tonight just because it's good to let your sauce have a night of, you want to cook it for a little while. You also want to give it some time to kind of settle and let the taste set in.
It's also a little bit late after work, and by the time we got this done and cooked it, it'd be like 9:30.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat that late.
I don't want to eat lasagna that late. Oh, I did forget to mention, we put bay leaves. You do pull the bay leaves out, though, before you serve it.
Yeah, don't eat them.
No, nobody really wants leaves in their food, but bay leaves give it a nice, good flavor as well. And how does it taste? This is where Chuck excels. He knows what it needs for flavor purposes. This is his thing.
Not too much salt, but it does need a little.
Well, because I don't add a lot of salt, just because of you.
And black pepper.
He loves his pepper.
Old school measurements.
Yeah, there will be no follow-up recipe of this.
Garlic powder.
Yeah. Because I've already added the fresher garlic. The pre-chopped garlic, because I'm not chopping garlic. I got better things to do with my life.
Parsley.
Okay.
Which is over there somewhere. Parsley.
There's no doggy in here for me to show them the pretty
Some
face.
generic basic Italian seasoning.
Which is pretty much why I have oregano and basil over here.
And A little basil to top it off. There's never enough basil in Italian seasoning for some reason.
Okay.
Two bay leaves.
Only two?
Two.
Just two.
It doesn't take a whole lot. It's going to simmer.
In Korean, that's dul. If you're wondering, I'm learning Korean, so that's dul. Hana is 1, dul is 2. Or if you're going by the other set of numbers that Koreans use,
because they've got two sets of numbers.
they have 2. The first one was il, and the second one is e. That is your Korean lesson for today, because we're not cooking Korean food, so there you go. Oh, but look, here's a little doggy. And she's much cuter than Chuck, aren't you, Silky Shoes?
That's not hard to accomplish.
Who's a cute little doggy dog? Well, since you're the one in here, it'll be you today. Yes. All right, back to Chuck. Are we tasting?
Tasting.
So this is basically the plan where you taste to add your flavor profiles. Say that 3 times fast.
Just remember that the taste is going to get stronger over time, so don't add a whole lot on the front end.
Right. What does it need?
A little more salt.
No way, it never needs more salt.
Well, this is a healthy sized container of stuff, so
It really is. And I really didn't put much salt in it at all. So that is fair. So Chuck is not a huge fan of salt. So typically when I salt something, I put a very little bit in. And then if we have guests, I always tell them there's a salt shaker because I don't want to over salt for Chuck. Chuck's basic salt level is low.
also, if you're not really sure on the difference between coarse salt and fine salt, even though these are both sea salt, coarse salt does not have as strong of a flavor, so it's better for cooking because you put it in and it'll take longer to dissolve. Fine salt, or even smaller regular table salt, is much more fine grained, so it dissolves a lot faster and gives a stronger burst of flavor. That doesn't really make much sense because it's the same amount of salt between the coarse and the fine if you put the same amount in, but the fine has a stronger flavor to it. So,
That is your cooking lesson
cooking
for
lesson
today.
for today. Cooking lesson in the cooking lesson.
Woo!
Cooking lesson section.
Oh, and an intermission for a pretty little doggy. Maymays, what do you think about making the lasagna sauce or the spaghetti sauce? What do you think, Minnie Moo? Maymay say, I like sitting in front of a fan because it's very cold and it blows my hair. Oh, hi, Minnie Moos. Oh, hello, Minnie Moos. There's not going to be no foods coming down, ladies. Okay,
Right, so-
doggy intermission.
That is a good baseline. We've achieved a nice balance of flavor.
Well, let's take a look at it.
So, we are going to put the lid on this
And put a pizza in the oven?
and keep it not too low, but kind of low. Move the fan so it doesn't blow the fire out. And we're going to let this cook for half hour, 45 minutes, kind of simmer. Turn it off, let it sit for a couple hours and cool off. And then we're going to put it in a container in the fridge, and we will be back tomorrow
Where we assemble and shred cheese.
for some lasagna.
Well, actually, we will shred cheese and assemble because, well, that would be crazy if we shred this cheese after we
yeah,
assemble.
that would be out of order.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyway, coming up next, lasagna.
Woohoo! Welcome to day 2 of lasagna making. So, day 1, we made this amazing sauce that I'm warming up right now. So this is like half of it. Literally, I have another whole container in the fridge that we'll probably freeze or use for spaghetti sauces, or freeze and use for spaghetti sauce, or make more lasagna later. So game plan at this point, just reheating the sauce because we'll have to taste to adjust for flavor profile. So that is the game plan there. And outside of that, it's my handy dandy little cheese grater. I don't know why, but I don't really like the cheese that you can buy in the packages at the store anymore. Like, I don't know what happened, but I decided I don't like it. Maybe it's because I read somewhere that they put cardboard in that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've read that somewhere. So I decided to start grating my own cheese. Probably eventually we'll start making our own cheese. So anyways, just gonna grate some cheese up here and get this started. And we've got fresh mozzarella, fresh Parmesan. Those will be our 2 cheeses for today. And then what's next after that, Chuck?
Once the sauce is at least brought up to a moderate temperature and we got the cheese shredded, we have to mix the ricotta and mascarpone mixture that we use to layer the noodles with. So we're gonna shred some cheese and get back to that, I guess.
Yep, and then we've got the noodles we got are the ones that you don't have to boil them first, you just put them in.
The easy bake ones.
Yeah, we went with easy bake. So I'm gonna shred some cheese, guys. We've got a container of ricotta. Squeeze that in here. We softened this a little bit, so we pulled it out a little bit beforehand.
If anybody cares, it's the 15-ounce container.
We've got 1 egg, because egg is a good binder and helps at least put a little more stiffness in it when you cut it. And then a container of mascarpone. We don't use it on anything else, so we're putting it in there.
Yeah, basic mixture is half and half ricotta and mascarpone for the recipe we use.
But we've probably got enough sauce in the fridge that we could make a pan to put in the freezer if we chose to do that, which occasionally we do.
If you wind up with like leftovers and you don't have enough noodles, just mixing the meat sauce with that cheese sauce and throw some inner pasta of your choice. Macaroni noodles, some leftover spaghetti noodles. Hell, you could throw it over rice and it would work.
So my mascarpone is a little more stiff right now than my ricotta. So it's going to take a little bit to get it worked together. But
yeah, we're just gonna fold all that together.
So Chuck is going to do the taste test to see where our sauce is, if it needs anything, what we've got going on here.
No, that's pretty much right on point.
Oh, really? I guess that means I get to taste. That's pretty perfect. We're going to start assembling in just a second.
All right, so we are about ready to assemble here. So I got my menagerie of stuff. We got our grated Parmesan, our grated mozzarella, our mixture of mascarpone and ricotta. If you can't tell, this is very cheesy. Our sauce that we've done up.
Which was very meaty.
Sometimes we do a recipe where we also add like
Spinach.
sauteed spinach and maybe some other vegetable du jour if we feel like it. But this time we're going simple.
And we didn't stop to get it. But here's our simple lasagna noodles. Simple lasagna.
So just to start off with, splash a little sauce around the bottom of the pan so your stuff doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. That always sucks. You actually try not to want to get, you would normally want to try not to get too much meat in it, but that's not really an option with our sauce.
Our sauce is relatively meaty because we like meat.
You might have to
Break a little bit.
inventively resize.
You're so inventive and creative. Oh, look at that. It's almost perfect.
Almost perfect. From here, it's relatively simple. Meat sauce. Try not to spill it on everything in the kitchen.
Or yourself.
Put a little bit of your cheese mixture all over pretty much everything.
For cheesy goodness.
Sprinkle a
cheese.
little shredded. That's the fresh mozzarella. That's a little bit of
Parmesan.
Parmesan. You don't want as much of that because it's very sharp and bitey. And then you rinse, repeat until you get about, I don't know, about that far, ½ inch.
Well, you want to make sure it doesn't bubble over.
Right.
Because that's a mess.
You want to get somewhere, but an inch, 3/4 of an inch from the tops. Basically enough that you can put tinfoil over the top and not have it stuck to your cheese.
And also not have to clean it off of your oven so it doesn't overbake.
Well, that too. Anyway, so we are going to rinse, repeat, and
Time lapse.
we'll be back.
Minnie Moose, what's going on in this household? Is you making lasagnas? The Minnie Moo can't have lasagnas, can you? Is that sad face? Minnie Moo, I love you. I'll give you sweet potato later. Okay.
And now back to regularly scheduled programming.
Alright, so as you can tell, we're near the top of the thing here, of the pan. So one thing I did forget to mention earlier is when you put your noodles in, depending on the shape of your pan, this particular one, you want to do a layer with your noodles going that way, and then do a layer with your noodles going that way so it kind of strengthens the stack. Otherwise, you're just going to cut it and it's all going to fall apart because all the noodles are going in the same direction. Anyway, so we're going to
Put the vinyl.
put the final. Also, since these are nice and dry and relatively firm, you can use it to kind of compact it so that you're not coming out of the top of the pan there. We're going to add a final thin little bit of sauce.
What do you think of that, Suki dog?
She said, I don't get any. Oh, sad Suki dog.
There's the May May hiding at the feet.
So, and then across the top, another sprinkling of cheese, basically to just look good and hold the top.
Make sure you also cover the edges of your noodles because you don't ever want your noodles to not get enough of everything on them. Otherwise, they'll be dry and crunchy, and nobody likes a crunchy noodle.
Well, I mean, these will soak up some moisture from below them, but...
But you do want to be careful you don't do that. And then a little bit of Parmesan.
So we didn't follow our own advice. We're pretty much right up to the top of the pan here.
You're always right up to the top of the pan.
Yeah, well.
It's your skill set.
So some people also do a little bit of shredded cheddar on the top here because when it browns up and gives you that little more burnt cheese color. But we're good. So we're going to put a little tin foil on it. We might have to tint it a little bit so we don't stick to it.
We will definitely tint it.
We've got the oven set to 350.
Not that you can see it from here, but hey, this looks good, right?
And we're going to cook it, if I remember the recipe correctly, it's 45 minutes covered, and then you take the tin foil off for the last 15 minutes to brown the cheese up.
That sounds about right.
So,
we'll see you in about an hour.
Yay!
Look at that cheesy goodness. Woo-wee! Chuck, that's some good-looking lasagna. And we even had enough to make a smaller pan. Not that you can tell, but it's in the oven over there, too. It will not have nearly as many layers, but I don't care.
I think we kind of went overboard with the layers in the first one anyway.
And we probably could have saved a layer or two on this one and put it on that one. But look at this. I don't care.
What do you think, Meme? Do you care?
She don't care. Don't care, don't care.
Oh, just wish it. Did you wish? You wish? Oh, do you Minnie Moo? Did you wishing?
They're just wishing they could get some. I don't know where Suki is. Oh, hold on.
She's over here.
Oh, she's talking to Chuck. Suki dog, are you talking to Chuck? All right, Chuck, you ready to cut into this? You picked the small paring knife to cut into lasagna.
Well, I didn't need a ginormous knife to cut it. I just need one sharp enough to
I know.
cut the edges. And of course, occasionally, the only problem you get with the no-bake stuff is occasionally you get those hard bits on the edge.
Are you going to serve it with the knife too?
I might.
I am that much of a smartass sometimes, aren't I?
Hello, girly girls. It's a girly girls. You don't get to lasagna, do you, Suki Sue?
Dude, that's such a big...
I might need to get a smaller spatula.
You think? I mean, that's huge. What are you thinking?
Me think?
I know. What am I thinking asking you to think? All right, here we go. Smaller spatula. Can he do it cleanly? I don't think it's possible.
Probably not. Alright.
Now, part of the problem is this is still going to be really hot. It's not going to stay together very easily.
Not really.
But I'm hungry and I don't want to wait 30 minutes for this stuff to cool down. Actually, you did really well.
Unfortunately, we don't have any garlic bread to go with this, but
Yeah, well, you know.
honestly, we don't need any extra carbs. So.
There's no carbs in this lasagna. What are you talking about? It's carbless lasagna. Like, I can't even say that. It's not carbless. This is so many carbs. Do you care, Chuck?
No, not really. So since you're the one that starved to death,
Uh-huh.
how does it work?
I have a fork. I hand you the... Okay, you can have the camera. It's cheesy goodness. That is so good. Would you like a bite?
And because I'm not good at waiting.
Look, I'm nice. I shared my food. Holy crap, this is delicious. Isn't it terrible? You should never use our lasagna recipe. So much cheese, so much goodness. This makes the fact that I didn't eat today worth it. I'm happy. I'm so happy.
It's hard to aim a camera and eat out of a pan at the same time.
Like and subscribe. We're gonna eat. We're gonna eat. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it is totally time to stuff our faces. So we'll see you next time. Enjoy the recipe if you try it. It's good stuff.